Hello everybody, Crab here, and last time we built ourselves this big ol' storage room so we can store all of our phase 2 items and literally every other item in the game. And I gotta say, I love it so much. But with this being done, we are officially done with tier 6 and we must move on to phase 3 of our wonderful space elevator. But to move on to phase 3, we need to make a few things. Of course, adaptive control units, modular engines, and some versatile framework. And so that's what we're gonna start on. We're gonna start a temporary little factory right here that'll be making all 3 of those things because it's going to be many hours before they're done being produced. And while we are making these things, we're going to move on to other stuff. Of course, the big question is, what do we actually need to make all these things? And I figure we start with the versatile frameworks. Come here. We need rubber, steel beams, and modular frames. Oh, fun. Well, luckily we have all these things, so we can just get ourselves some bins, make a nice mess of belts, and we'll just put the items inside of these storage bins right here. So versatile frameworks are easy. Now, we also need to do modular engines, which requires, oh fun, more rubber. But we also need ourselves some smart plating. Okay. Oh, would you look at that? Another mess of belts. Now we get to move on to adaptive control units. Ugh, we have to make automated wiring. Oh, that's so annoying. Oh yes, my favorite item in the game, cable galore. Of course, we're going to be sommers looping literally everything here because I ain't waiting a bazillion years. Now, we need 5,000 rubber for the versatile frameworks, and the other 3,750 goes towards our modular engines. We also need 3,750 steel and 625 modular frames for our versatile frameworks. And for our smart plating, we need 500 rotors and reinforced iron plates. And we also need, what else do we need? I think the motors go here. 500 motors. Need all those for our modular engines. Oh, fun. All right, now we just have to do the adaptive control units. Now for the adaptive control units, we need 250 stators, 100 computers, 250 circuit boards, and then we gotta do the automated wiring. Oh wait, I put stators in the wrong thing. Oh no. This needs 50 heavy modular frames. Our stators come back here so we can make goddamn automated wiring. We also need 5,000 cable, which I don't think I actually have. Hold on. We got 4,251 in here. How much do we have in our dimensional depot? Oh my god, 1,000. Give me, look at that, 5,000 cable. Okay, so all of the resources have been added to these bins, which is perfecto. Now I need sommer sloops and some power shards to make them all powerful. And then what we're gonna do is turn off our entire phase 2 factory so we can actually run this, because I only have 1,000 megawatts extra. If we look right here, I only got like, actually I have 3,000 megawatts of production available to me. We might not have to disconnect our entire factory. That'd be nice. We're guaranteed sommer slooping every machine. We'll see if we fully overclock them. It really just depends on how much power we have available to us. Right now our consumption says 320, but the sommer sloops haven't been activated yet. So let's see what the actual consumption of this little factory right here is. It's gonna be insane. Boop. So we turn it on and our entire power grid's gonna crash, right? So our max consumption sitting about 5,600 and we're about 1,000 megawatts higher. So it does look like we have enough production. So what would happen if we fully overclock all these? Is our power grid just gonna absolutely explode? Oh, 7,800. We're still in perimeter. We still got enough production, which is actually kind of insane. So all of these are fully sommer slooped and fully overclocked. That is wild. Oh no, it's gone up to 9,000. Jesus. Okay, maybe we won't fully overclock the adaptive control units. I feel like those will be okay. Nope, we're still in the red. Oh, wait, we might be coming back down. Okay, I've brought production back down. We're sitting about 8,100 megawatts. So all of these can run while we move on to the next thing I want to do today, which is actually preparing for when we have bauxite. You see, the thing is, we need to gather a bunch of bauxite, and I would like to go and grab all the bauxite from here in the swamp. The reason we're gathering it from here is because I have to have a train line that goes all the way to the Crater Lakes anyways, and so bringing it through the swamp and collecting resources from here seems smart, so we might as well gather the something thousand bauxite that's sitting in here. So what we're gonna go do now is try and build a train line that snakes its way through this terrain, down through here, and into the swamp. Okay, I jutted off the train track over there. I kind of split it and I'm bringing it this way. And we're going underneath this little bridge right here. And the fun part about this little bridge is it's poison hell. If you look at that, that's just uranium. Not very pretty. so we don't want to die here, which kind of sucks. But we're going under here and continuing to follow this trail. So I changed up how I was going to do my train track a little bit. I realized I need to keep it kind of high up because we'll see if we catch one. But the big annoying piece of trash spiders keep trying to jump up and kill me. And I figured that out when I was a solid 5 foundations lower than I was now. So I destroyed it and I've redone it. And right here we should be okay. But as soon as we get to this end over here, some spiders are going to pop up. Oh. You're coming. Oh, look at it. They're coming to kill me. They're coming to take my soul. But anyways, we'll leave this end alone for now. We brought it up to this point right here. There's more bauxite for us to grab in this general area, but I think the train track's gonna go straight through like right here or down, and then we'll go over and into the rocky, I actually forgot what this is called. It's rocky something. The bauxite we are grabbing right now is somewhere over here. I don't actually have it unlocked, so I can't scan for it, but I think it's right there, and I have satisfactory calculator open on my second screen, so we'll be able to find it. Okay, I kind of messed stuff up when I was putting this train station in. So I had to put this loop at the end so we could actually get to the side that the train station's on, because we have all of our trains coming in this way, and I didn't want to, like, cross traffic, so we went up and around and then over. Now, you may be wondering, am I going to leave this thing floating? And for now, yes. I don't really want to deal with it, because I don't want to go down there where all the spiders are, unless I have significantly more nobelisks that can blow up the entire forest. I have to deal with them already when I gather the bauxite, and those are scary. I don't want to be building with them around, so we're gonna not build foundations that like connect it and make it look nice. We'll just leave it floating for now. However, I am very proud of this. This makes me so happy. Like, look at it. It looks awesome. Like, this loop is just fantastic. But anyways, we have bauxite to get. We got a pure, normal, and impure node all right there. And I have 3 stations set up. Conveniently, over here, we have a normal and impure node too. So what we will eventually do is have a freight platform with 1200 once we get Mark 6 belts. And then these two will have 900 because we'll have an impure normal node and an impure normal node and then a pure node. But that is planning for the future. For now, we're just going to get the bauxite that's right here. And now we got some bauxite coming in. Ignore the clipping. It'll be dealt with never. However, I seem to have 0 modular frames left, so I have to kill myself to get back home. Boop. Oh, goody, we're back home. Now, I believe all these are done. We should be good. Let's see here, 24. Oh, yep, 490. What do you mean, 490? What do you mean? Smart plating, what did I miss? A few rotors? Ugh. We're gonna have to wait a whole 2 minutes for me to finish off these modular engines. Oh no. It is time for us to give the big machine all the things it wants. Come here, phase 3, and we send it off. Okay. Oh, look at it. Bauxite refinement. Oh, look at all this beautiful stuff. Hey, can you stop being so loud up there? I know you're like building or whatever, but I'm trying to talk about all the nice new stuff that I get to play with. Oh yay, space elevator. You have arms now. Good for you. Bauxite refinement is mine. Milestone. Yes. Okay, we have bauxite refinement, which is very good. The other thing I want to do, we want this hover pack as soon as physically possible, so we're just gonna buy some Alclad aluminum sheets so we can unlock it. Right, I forgot my screws are over here. Give me screws and Awesome Sync tickets. Thank you very much, Awesome Sync. I appreciate you. Now we do have to wait 10 minutes for that pod to come back. And then we can unlock the hover pack. I'm missing heavy modular frames. Okay, now it's time for the hover pack. Thank you. Look at it. Look at the hover pack. You are mine. Oh, yes. We can finally fly around. This is so nice. Now, we're going to be setting up an extremely temporary bauxite setup right here. The reason is we have coal, copper, and water nearby, and we have a train that's bringing bauxite over. So, temporarily, we're going to build an easy setup that'll give us access to Alclad aluminum sheets and casings so we can upgrade more stuff in the hub and start being able to build Mark 5 belts, because right now we only have access to Mark 4. And when I say temporary, I mean temporary. We're building a concrete box and we're going to just bring bauxite over and everything else. Nah, don't worry. This is what it's going to look like forever. It's going to be just this pretty. You know that nice factory built over there? Nah. We're moving to the good old spaghetti. So, I'm gonna show you guys something fun. I was in my MAM trying to do stuff. Look what happens when I turn around. Okay. My frames disappear. I don't know. I'm fairly certain it's from these power storages, because if I look the other way, it's just fine, right? But this was happening like when I was over here too earlier. I AFK'd by power storages and it got super laggy. And even like right here, it's like a little laggy. But then I get in the middle and it's like, all right, you're at 60 something FPS. And then we're gonna go towards the power storages. I know you liked your frames, but what if you didn't have them anymore? Anyways, the reason I'm over here is because of the man. We need to unlock some recipes. Turbo fuel. Oh, I want you so badly, but I'm using you later. I want bauxite right now. Ugh. Well, more hard drive scanning. We need 2 alternate recipes because the default recipes for bauxite are atrocious. We want the sloppy alumina so we don't have any silica output. And we want the aluminum ingot that doesn't need silica. It just needs aluminum scrap because I don't want to deal with quartz right now. Okay, I ran through a bunch of hard drives, but we finally have the 2 recipes we are looking for. The sloppy alumina and our pure aluminum ingots. With these, we can finally build ourselves a very basic bauxite setup. So to build the literal most basic of bauxite setups using the alternate recipes we have, to take 1 refinery with the sloppy alumina alternate recipe, and you put that straight into the alumina scrap recipe. Then from there, you put it into 6 smelters using the alternate pure aluminum ingot recipe. Then you also need 1 smelter for a little bit of copper. Then we grab 3 assemblers to make alclad aluminum sheets, and 2 constructors for our aluminum casings. One of the constructors is set to 50%, and that is it. These are all the machines you need if you have both of those alternate recipes to make a full bauxite setup for the 2 beginning items. First of all, you only need 1 constructor when it comes to the aluminum casings. I don't know why I said 2. Second, since this is temporary, we got a bunch of temporary belt work, including clipping, weird stuff that isn't properly set up, and other things that I don't actually care about. Thirdly, in case you don't know, since we're dealing with an overflow system, that being, we have a water input coming into the alumina solution and a water output coming from the alumina scrap, which we have to reuse. I put said water into this buffer. From that buffer, it goes into the bottom input of the junction, which gives it priority. So no matter what, the water will be recycled and used, which is very good. And that's basically all the information you need to know about this extremely temporary setup. Once this water builds up a little bit, I will turn this system on, but for now I'm not gonna. So now that our water has built up, I've now turned everything on, so we can start making alumina solution. And from there, all the other things that need to be made. And I'm also sending a temporary belt all the way over to our storage hub so we can start building up the aluminum stuff in a dimensional depot. And now back at the hub, we can unlock logistics Mark 5. Yes, give me, oh my God, a Mark 5 belt. Thank you so much for existing. I can start like doing things, one of which is finally finishing off this sushi belt so it stops clogging up. Because right now I have all my concrete going in ye bin because that 100 won't fit on this belt. But now it will. Next thing for us to unlock is blenders, because blenders are going to be vital for things we have to do later. Okay, now we get to unlock the wonderful blenders. If I had all of my casings, come here. Thank you. Absolutely wonderful. Right now we can make his batteries, but we're going to be dealing with batteries later. Okay, now that we have unlocked Mark 5 belts, we get to move on to the rest of the things we have to do today, which involves starting our phase 4 factory, which we're going to be putting on this side right here. Now, of course, what we're going to be doing today is all the aluminum for it, which does involve 37 smelters to make 1,110 aluminum ingots. And we will use that aluminum to make things like radio control units, supercomputers, fused modular frames, and more things that are going to be coming in the future. To do that, though, we need resources, which is what we're going to start on. So we're going to head back over to the swamp to set up a new train station right about here. We need to gather some caterium, quartz crystals, some copper and limestone from here, and more bauxite from over here. So the intersection for our new track is going to be super kind of weird. So for this intersection specifically, we're only having an input and output. We are not having this train track also go said that direction. So I get to do some weird stuff by having it float in the sky and making some long things, blah, 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 blah. We're taking our train track all the way up here, and then we'll kind of bridge it off, and we'll have a train station sit about here. And over there's some quartz nodes, and over there's a caterium node, and that is what we are here to grab. So now I actually need to put this train line in and make this bit look interesting instead of being on floating painted concrete slabs. Okay, still need to finish off the train tracks, which I haven't done, and I should probably make this a little bit better. But we are now bringing over quartz crystals and caterium, as you can see right here. And with these grabbed, this should be all the resource gathering we need to do from up here. Now we need to set up 2 more freight trains down there so we can grab some limestone and some copper that's sitting somewhere in here. Sadly, our phase 3 factory is going to need about 2,000 copper, and I just don't have those nodes sitting in the desert and available close by. So we gotta get it from the swamp. And as before, we're just putting down some concrete and kind of just expanded this train station temporarily. Don't worry about the track. I will rebuild it later. But for now, let's head back over to the main base. And by that, I mean kill myself, because I could care less about playing with keep inventory. As long as I have my stuff, I'm happy. And now that we're here, we can start the aluminum production, which will be oh so fun. This is our first like sort of big complicated thing we're doing, because all that right there wasn't actually complicated. There was just like a lot of stuff. This is semi-complicated because it's bauxite. It'll be great. If you don't know the process, what we're gonna do is basically follow the dunes and build out our foundations, and then place down a whole bunch of machines, and then we will build all those machines up, and then we will turn it all on. And we do that for every section. So for today, we are specifically doing the aluminum section. So without further ado, let's make this more concrete. And after about 2 minutes, we get this. It's all very relative. We do have some things that's like, yeah, clearly we could bring some areas down a little bit more. But as long as we keep some variation and some inconsistencies and make things look real different, real sharp and real angular and deep and up and down and follow the dunes to the best of our ability, we will get some interesting shapes. Now, since we're doing aluminum, it's not actually that much. The big thing is we need 37 smelters. But besides that, everything else is easy. We need like 10 refineries. We don't need that much stuff. First, I want to place down the refineries. Something else we have to keep in mind is I'm going to have 2 train stations. We're going to do the thing where we brought a train track over our beautiful machines like we have here, except we're going to do it slightly better. Since I know I can do it, we'll give ourselves a little bit more of a purpose. So the train should generally go right there. That kind of spot right there is where it's going to go. One of them has 2 freight platforms, and that's our Catarian Quartz one, and the other one has 5, which is our copper, limestone, and bauxite one, the one that's sitting right here. And I think that flat space right there will work very good for a train station, and then we can bring the train track over the machines that we build. But that is stuff to worry about later. We won't be doing that today. Well, we probably won't. We'll see how fast we go through all this. I've been done thinking, and I'm like, where should I put all these things? And I'm thinking we might be able to fit our first set of 6 refineries like right up here, and then we can do some goofy stuff with the outputs going down here to the next set of refineries. The refineries we're making right now are the sloppy alumina solution, so we'll delete these lovely outputs right here, and we'll replace them with liquids later. But like that's the 6 we need right there. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, this might work. Hold on. We only need 3 refineries for our scrap. Yeah, but I kind of want to spread them out. We'll move it. What if I put them right here? I could put them like right here, and then we could just overclock one of them. Yeah, let's overclock one of them. So we're making 870 aluminum scrap total. And we have 720, so we only need another 150. Oh, wait. I done messed up. We need another 150 for the normal aluminum scrap. We actually are using 2 different recipes. Funnily enough, I don't actually know if I have the other one unlocked yet. Let's see. I don't. Okay, time to research more hard drives. The alternate recipe we're using uses petroleum coke instead of coal because we have an oil setup we have to make later for the rest of the phase 4 factory, and we need to deal with annoying heavy oil residue. So we're turning into petroleum coke, and we'll just reuse that petroleum coke in the aluminum scrap alternate that uses petroleum coke instead of coal. But we need 4.5 of those machines. So what if we put those refineries over here instead? Just to like move them around. Let's add some refineries in a few different places. Make it look all pretty. I think that should work. That adds like the height we want in this area. So we have our solution, scrap, and then we need 37 smelters. Now I could do a smelter stack, which conveniently fits in this hole. There's no way. Oh my god, it does. It perfectly fits in this hole. That was a complete accident. So we could put 30 there, and then we could put the other 7, like, in that area right there. That would actually work rather well. Can I expand this hole just by 1 foundation? Oh, I barely can. It'll barely fit if I do this. Okay, perfect. Okay, we had a change of plan. Well, not really. These machines right here, there are 9 refineries, and you might be asking, what are they making? Well, they're making plastic. Duh, because we need heavy oil residue, because then these machines right here make our petroleum coke, which go over there to make the rest of the aluminum scrap. I put in all these machines, and I was like, I got a lot of room right here. I might as well put the plastic in. You may be asking, where's our rubber machines? And my answer to you is, don't worry about them. We're going to be dealing with them later. But this right here is all the machines that we're going to be placing today. But for now, we need to start belting. This space right here, I'm going to leave plain and barren because I don't know what I'm going to put here. It'll probably end up being smaller things like assemblers or constructors. If I need like 10 constructors, then I'll put them right here. I have my numbers written down. I just am not looking at them right now, but something will go here. Don't worry, it won't stay blank forever. Another thing you might notice is these machines are spaced out way better than they are at the other area. The thing is, with over here, I learned exactly how important it is to give yourself space, because I thought having at least like half a foundation to a foundation on the end of every set of machines would be enough space. And while for a lot of it, it was. Like, this is very clear. But then you come right here and you say, this is a little tight, and I only have a foundation here. If I had an extra half foundation, I bet it would have been better. And this is especially proven by all the stuff we have in the sky. And while the sky belts look awesome, there are some of them that, if I had more room, could have been put on the ground a little bit easier. So when it comes to these machines over here, we're giving ourselves slightly more room. And once we belt all this in and we see what it looks like, maybe you will say, okay, we gave ourselves too much room. And then once we expand to do the rest of the phase 3 factory, then we can tighten things up. But for now, I would like to see what this looks like, especially since I am going to be adding fluid buffers in quite a few places, because we're dealing with aluminum, and we do not want this stuff to back up. Okay, first of all, I did get this alternate recipe, the petroleum coke recipe. So now these 5 refineries right now have that alternate in it, which is very nice. Since we have that done, we can finally do our belt work. Well, I guess mostly pipe work, because that's what we're doing, is a lot of piping. We had to do some fun stuff over here with our alumina solution, because we have a whole bunch of it going to a whole bunch of places in not so 600 even ways. So that's some weird stuff there, but that's okay. I think the very first thing we are going to do is the alumina solution. I already hooked this one up to these normal aluminum scrap recipes. So now we have to bring these 2 pipes over here. Now, I am going to put in 2 fluid buffers, and they're small fluid buffers, and they're just going to be here for extra protection. In case we have any problems, I want these to be here just so we don't have any backflow. Now, we are going to have to add a few pumps here just to make sure all these fluids get to the places they're supposed to be, because we don't want anything backing up. Now, our numbers are split kind of weirdly, so let me show you. This pipe right here has 480 aluminum solution in it, and this pipe right here has 240. Now, 240 plus 480 is not 600, so we have to keep these pipes a little separate, which is kind of annoying, but I mean, not much I can do about it. So now we're just gonna bring them yonder. I think we're just gonna snake them along the edge right here. 1 and 2 are now in, and we'll delete this temporary. There we go. Now they're floating in the sky properly, as all belts should be. Well, pipes. Okay, since the aluminum is in, we can now stop falling. Just let me sit on these refineries. Oh my God. We can now deal with water. Or, okay, well, I have 1 pipe of heavy oil residue to deal with. I guess let's bring it down, and we'll bring it over to like here. And then we'll just connect to a mundo. And I need to make sure these are the right color. Come on, thank you very much. Okay, heavy oil residue is now done. That was easy. Now we get to deal with water. Water's going to be so fun. The reason water's going to be so fun is because I need, about 1,200, which is 2 600 pipes, so that's not annoying. That's not bad. However, what I actually need is 400 water, because the rest of the water is being recycled. That's the fun part. So we're gonna pump all of our water up to 2 buffers. I think we'll just place them right here. We'll make these big old boy buffers. Because we're dealing with 600 water a minute, I am not using the small ones. We're gonna use the big ones. So we just connect up our pipes. It's real nice, simple, and easy. All of these take a nice clean 200 water. I say that as our middle one is weirdly underclocked to take not a clean 200 water, but we don't have to worry about that. It's the reason we have these big buffers. All we have to worry about is the fact that our middle one, or I believe this one right here. No, it's this one. Okay. So our second line has the weird pipe. So our second fluid buffer is the one we have to watch out for. This is the one that we need to make sure uses the correct amount of water. This one, just straight 600, we'll be fine. Now, we're gonna grab the water from our alternate refineries first because this is 105 and we have, well, 4.5 of these here. Actually, did I forget to underclock? I think I forgot to underclock one of these. One of these is supposed to be set to 50%. Okay, so right here we have ourselves 600 water. I just realized for some reason my pipes have been the wrong color. Water pipes, I need you to be darker. What are you doing? I'm specifically talking about the water pipes from my blueprints. I don't know why these were the wrong color. So we have our weird number of water. It's like 500 and something, and we'll just bring this to like here for now. That's not the same height. What are you doing? Be taller. There we go. And then we have the rest of our water right here. Now, we have 120 and then 170. So we have 290 total water coming from this pipe, which means we can make it a Mark 1. Thank you very much. So 290 plus a random amount of 500. We need this 290 to overflow into that 500 to make a solid 600. And we will put that one into the solid 600 buffer. And then the rest of this water will go towards our weird buffer. And then our water extractors, which are going to be bringing over 395.83 water, will go into this buffer right here. Oh, would you look at this? Pipes are already piping. We got some weird stuff going on over here because of that whole priority thing. So this pipe right here has priority, so then it goes into here first, and then we get our input from the water extractors on top or from right here. And that just makes sure that all this isn't backed up. So we've done our water, we've done our aluminum solution, we've done our heavy oil residue. Plastic, we don't have to worry about right now. We're going to sink it. Same with all of our aluminum ingots, which is the next thing we have to hook up. So a fun part about our ingots is we need, you know, a lot of scrap. Specifically about 2,100 and something, which means we need to do some balancing. Because right now we have scrap coming from here, which is going to be separated into 3 belts. And then scrap coming from over here, which I think is staying at 2 belts. 510 and 360. So yeah, there's 2 belts. So we have 3 belts and 2 belts, which we all need to even out to be a solid. Well, let's see here. Each one of these takes 60 scrap. So 60 times 5 is 300. So we have 6 sets of 300. So basically we need 3 600 belts, and then the rest we're going to shove over here. Okay, so I figured out what we're going to do with some of this space, and that's going to be a nice little balancer. You know, I said all those things, and then I came over to check on my machines. 300. 300. I think we have our first belt. This might be easier if I just like use my brain and actually look at how much stuff I'm producing. That would be semi-intelligent of me to do, would it not? Yeah, 510 and then 360. Can we adjust this? No, max is 540. Okay. So like we're only gonna have to deal with 3 weird belts. And these 3-row belts are only going to have to go and make 1 600 in overflow, which is way easier to deal with than 4 weird belts. Anyways, there's 1 600 and there's 2 600s. Well, that was nice and easy. Okay, we didn't actually have to do that much weird stuff. Let me show you. So, first of all, I switched what side had the weird refinery. So now this front one has the half amount. So these 2 600 belts evenly go into these 2 layers of smelters, and they work just fine. Then down here, I remembered we have priority mergers. So what we have is a priority merger of that 150, and then this belt right here, which is that 510. So this will always be used because it has priority, and the rest will come from the 510. Once this has filled up, then the rest of the 510 will be overflowed into this belt right here, which is that 360, and that 360 will go over to these smelters right here. So all of these belts should work. Now, suddenly we don't have as much space right here, so I'm kind of glad I left it, but if I do want to put some machines right here, I should still have room for like 3 assemblers or something if I want to put them in. So now all we have to do is our outputs. With that done, technically speaking, all of this is in. I mean, this is all the belts and pipe work we have to do. Now it's just getting the resources in and dealing with where the resources have to go. Okay, a few temporary belts are coming over. I've actually come up with a funky idea. This was originally just gonna stay temporary, and then now I'm like, this looks cool. So in the future, once we move the train station more towards over here, our bauxite belts are definitely gonna go in between these 2 refineries right here. I think this just looks really cool. For now, though, we're going to keep it on the foundations because it's easier to delete later. So what we've brought over is our bauxite and coal. Now we need to bring over our oil. I also brought over water, and I'm starting to fill up these pipes to get them all pressurized or something like that. I don't actually know how the fluid works. All I know is apparently if you fill them up first, it's like better. So we're doing that. But I need to bring over a little bit of oil from right there. And then once we're done with that, we should be able to start this thing up. I actually haven't connected all these to like power yet. Maybe I should do that first and figure out how much this thing costs to run. Because if it's too much, then we won't turn it on. But if it's enough, then we will turn it on just so we have the overflows going and fix any bugs before we get too late in this process. Okay, I got one more thing to get ready, which is this coal right here. And then we should be good to get this up and running. Our power consumption's only about 900, which means we can start this thing easily and find out if I messed anything up. Right now, I just have all the aluminum ingots just going into awesome sinks until we get all of those problems. Yes, it is spaghetti. It's temporary. Leave it alone, okay? But the last thing for us to do is get a coal node over to these refineries right here. And of course, we're gonna do some temporary shenanigans. We're just gonna bring this all the way up to like here, I think. And then we'll just bring it over and grab ourselves our coal. We should just be able to hook it up real easily like this. So the first thing we're gonna do is hook it up to power and turn everything on and make sure everything has lights to make sure I did actually plug everything in. And it looks like we're good, and our plastic is already starting to be made, which I forgot to sync. We need to do that. I think we can just add it to this line and we should be okay. Okay, now let's add the rest of the items up and see exactly what I done messed up, because we should figure that out now. So our alumina solution machines are starting to turn on. And from there, our normal aluminum scrap refineries are turning on. We still need to get our aluminum solution over to the alternate petroleum coke one. And do we have heavy oil residue in these machines yet? We do. We have a little bit in here, but it doesn't look like we have enough. Maybe if I added a pump to pull liquid, it might help. And it looks like these machines right here are the first ones to get scrapped, so we are making our aluminum ingots, so that's good to see. Although, of course, these are the first to be fed because it is the normal refinery recipe. These ones still need to build up. And of course, this alumina solution has a bigger distance to travel. Although it looks like I did in fact forget to hook up one thing, which are these two pumps right here, which we need to do. Okay, now alumina solution's flowing in here, although we still don't have enough petroleum coke. But that's slowly building up with the heavy oil residue, slowly but surely coming in. Our first mistake has been found. I'm feeding all of my scrap into the output of the aluminum ingots, which means it's just getting synced. Literally all of these are going the wrong way, which is, wow. I can't believe I missed this. Jesus, what was I thinking? Okay, well, let's fix that. Okay, now they're all going in the right areas. So that's good. Now we're actually making our aluminum ingots. However, why? Oh, did I accidentally connect this belt in the middle? I might have. Hold on. I did. I accidentally connected the belt right here, which I shouldn't have done. Something else, I forgot this blueprint has Mark IV belts, so we have to upgrade them all to Mark V to make sure everything flows correctly. Because remember, we have 600 aluminum scrap coming in, and 480 is in fact not 600. Ah, it seems I'm not getting enough coal. That is because I'm only bringing 120 in. I forgot to overclock the machine, so let's go do that to make sure we have the correct amount of coal coming through so we can actually properly test this place out. Yes, yes. Maybe I should make sure I have my numbers correct. That would help make sure the test to run smoothly, huh? So 300 coal and we're good. I'm glad I installed these fluid buffers because our petroleum coke is still building up. Right now, our heavy oil residue still isn't fully in here, so we aren't making the full amount of petroleum coke. So our alumina solution was backing up. So I am now every once in a while going to flush these fluid buffers just to make sure that they don't overflow and back up, you know, the entire rest of the system, because we really don't want that. Okay, I've had it running for a few minutes now, and I don't seem to be coming across any other problems, but our petroleum coke heavy oil residue is backed up correctly, so we should be making continuous petroleum coke, so we're good on that, which means we should be making continuous petroleum coke scrap. It looks like our petroleum coke is building up rather well. We also have to remember, this is an overflow system. This has nothing in it because this has 200 in it. So these things still need to overflow a little bit more. But generally speaking, all this is working. We don't have any major belt or pipe issues. It's just overflows doing overflow things. So with this being done, I think it's about time we end the video. Tradition states we must kill something at the end of every video. And a while ago, while I was exploring, I found a little something. And that would be this right here. A good old gas obelisk. Now, We must find new and creative ways to kill things because the old ways usually get boring. And I figure it's about time we suffocate something. The annoying part is, I cannot use it. I don't have it unlocked, which means the game does not recognize me being able to use it in the Noblisk machine, which sucks. Oh well, guess we just have to stab this creature. You're going to die. Thank you for dying so peacefully. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video. And while today we did start our phase 3 factory, we will not be doing this next episode. For next episode, we will be tackling another problem. Our power. You see, we're gonna run out of it soon. And there's a reason I've been building towards this lake. Yes, next episode, we will be building a fuel power plant. But I hope you did enjoy today, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.